was an earning exclusive from LIC. But then let's move on and let's talk about Biocon, where we saw a sharp drop in Q1 profits, but robust performance as far as biosimilars and CRDMO is concerned. But then what's the plan ahead, especially on the global front, and also as far as increasing the market share is concerned? We are joined by Siddharth Mittal, CEO MD Biocon. Hi, afternoon, Siddharth. Welcome to the show. Let's talk about generic business, first, which registered EBITDA margin, both quarter on quarter and year on year basis. What explains the decline out here? And so far, looking at these numbers, what will you kind of analyze as far as outlook is concerned for the rest of the quarters?
So the margin, of course, was impacted as a result of the new facilities, 3 new facilities that we capitalized during the previous fiscal. So we had costs coming in from these facilities almost to the tune of 60 crores per quarter, which did impact the margin. But for the products that we commercialized in various markets, the gross margin continues to be very healthy. And I think in the coming quarters, we have many more launches coming up, which will, of course, turn the business back into profitable levels. And the return ratios will start looking as we fill up these facilities in the coming period.
Hello, Siddharth. The company received approval for insulin aspart during the quarter. Now, when can we expect the launch for the same, and how is that expected to contribute in the financials?
See, insulin aspart is a very important drug for us. It builds on to this very strong franchise we have built in the US with insulin Semglee. We have heard that innovators are defocusing on insulin and focusing more on GLP. So that allows us, given that this is the only interchangeable biosimilar aspart available in the US, there is no other insulin company which is going to be commercializing this drug. So we definitely think we are very well placed to launch this drug. The launch is imminent as we speak. Of course, the ramp up will coincide as the customers' buying cycle, which typically happens twice a year. July and January is when the new contracts start. So we would see ramp up starting the next calendar year. But with the launch will happen in an immediate foreseeable future.
Right. But then let's also talk about tariffs. So what's your take on tariffs and impact on the Indian players? How do you see that enrolling, and what will be your strategy now to tackle it?
We are all in wait and watch mode in terms of what the tariff means. And of course, the investigation of Section 232 is going on. So we do not expect pharma products to be covered under the tariffs immediately. And even if it does get covered in coming period, it should start with a smaller percentage, as you mentioned, 10% maybe. And as long as it's uniform tariff across different geographies, then again, Indian companies are very well placed, given that we supply so much volume to the US, and we are the Indian generic companies have given health security to the American the payers, and to hit them with any significant tariff is going to hurt the American system, the healthcare systems. But as far as the 250% or 200% numbers that we have heard, we have, of course, also heard that there is going to be a transition from whatever they announced to begin with. And within 18 to 24 months, the government has announced that they want to increase the tariffs. Now, Biocon Group is very well placed. We are, of course, making our supply chain more resilient. We are looking at local manufacturing. We have got now 2 facilities in the US, one for oral solid dosage, the new facility in Cranberry, New Jersey, and a biosimilar drug substance facility that Syngene acquired in Baltimore. And I think we've also tied up with some local companies. I think the Civica Alliance that we announced for aspart will also enable us to manufacture insulin locally. So I think over a period of next couple of months, we will make our supply chain more resilient and shockproof. But of course, if there are tariffs announced, everybody will be impacted.
All right. Siddharth, now let's talk about your key products. Can you help us with the market share changes of all of those key products like Glargine, trastuzumab and pegfilgrastim. How was the pricing situation? Stable or experiencing some pressure there?
I think pricing is quite stable at this stage. We have not seen major disruption for these products you mentioned. Of course, there are new players on and off who enter the market or who kind of reprioritize their capacities. But as far as the market shares are concerned, we have seen a very healthy ramp up both biosimilar trastuzumab and biosimilar pegfilgrastim. In the US, Biocon Biologics continue to be a leading company for both these products with market shares of 27% for both the drugs. Similar insulin or Semglee is at roughly 18%, again, a very strong market share. And, we continue to see what is the best way of expanding these market shares further from here.
All right, let's also talk about the IPO front. And previously, the company said that given the market volatility seen in the IPO front, a merger can also be evaluated of Biocon Biologics. Now, a committee has been formed to evaluate all strategic options. What's the update on this? Any timeline you can share? By when can we see that happening, if there is one?
I think the committee has done a lot of work, background work. The committee has been updating the board on a regular basis, and I think in the coming months, they should be in a position to make a recommendation to the board, and the board will take a final decision. And once that's done, of course, we will let everyone know. It's not too far off. I think we were targeting to finish that earlier, but of course, it's with all the global dynamics, the business dynamics, it's taken a little longer. But we are on the right track. I think committee is done along with the merchant bankers that we have who's assisting us with this evaluation. A lot of background work has gone through.
Thank you so much, Siddharth, for all of those updates and best wishes to the company for the coming quarters. Well, on that note, we slip into a